brought on by the 5 main teams. We have Boom Empire, which is myself, Fit Crew, which is Carrie Steelman-Smith, Team Push, which is Bailey Glaenzer, Fit Empowerment, which is Michelle Katz. Those are our Star Diamond teams. So once you guys get to Star Diamond, and make sure you shoot me your team name so that I can go ahead and give you that extra recognition. Also, you guys, a huge congratulations. You brought in over 22,000 volume PV not PV, 22,000 volume this week, which is absolutely amazing. So, like Energize is what, like 38, Shakeology is 90. So the main teams brought in 22,000 PV just this week, and it's only going to get bigger with the French launch. So also, if you are in my downline and I know there's a bunch of success starters jumping, and just for time's sake, popping, and people who are hitting milestones, just give yourself a shout out in the chat, and we'll cheer you on as we go along. So for our points, we have Bailey Glaenzer at 44. Some of these have changed, and if yours has changed since this morning, give yourself a shout out in the comments. Cassandra Steelman at 28, myself at 16, Deborah Flores at 14, Carrie Steelman-Smith at 14, Heather Green at 12, Brooke Barone at 10, Kayla Camus at 10, Mary Reeves at 8, Trisha Schuper at 8, Victoria Hopper at 8, Beatrice Martinez at 6, Christine McFairline at 6, who's also a new coach. Congratulations. Christy Reese at 6, Katie May at 6, Katie Remmers at 6, Elizabeth Koning at 6, Melissa Heath at 6, Christine Zorn at 4, Diane Amelia Reed with 4, Jordan, I think that's a typo, Bond at 4, Justine Delch at 4, Paige Adams at 4, Sarah Poole at 4, Amanda Martin at 2, Anna Almato at 2, Courtney Ramico at 2, Darian Thompson at 2. Sorry, the chat's blowing up and now I can't see under them. Demetrius Green, who is also Heather Green at 2. There's 2 other people I'll go back to. Okay, now I can see it. Heather Stein at 2, Jordan Egger at 2, Karen Aldana at 2, Kayla Barmonte at 2, Kelly Wiseman at 2, Mariah Zinger at 2, Michelle Katz at 2, Morgan Witherington at 2, Nicole Miller at 2, Shanika Story at 2, Stephanie Barmazzo at 2, Tavia Holster at 2, Teresa Lee at 2, Tim Ottaway, who is my husband, at 2, Wheatley Phillips at 2, and Whitney Shaw at 2. So awesome, guys. Congratulations. And also, Bailey mentioned something about the running leaders group. I know that myself and Carrie also have push groups like that going on. So if you feel like you want to level up, take your business to the next level, reach out to your upline coach. And if you are looking also for a Coach Basics, I know that we all are running those monthly. So you can always dust yourself off, kick it off new. And really quick, last thing is those of you that are getting like 6 points and even 1 point, congratulations, because I was listening to a training before that most coaches, I think it's like 5% of all Team Beachbody coaches only hit Success Club 6. So you guys are exceptional when you are hitting 6 and 10 points. So keep pushing, change those lives, give yourself a pat on the back, and you're going to definitely go far. That's it. That was long.
You're good. Okay. All right. I'm gonna share my screen. I think I'm able to now. Awesome. Okay. So I just first and foremost just want to say I'm just so proud of everyone who has just used this time to just share and give and has continued to show up. It's honestly really mind-blowing to see the progress that our teams have made. I remember when Bailey and I used to share these leaderboards and it was 3 people, and today there are 25 people on my leaderboard, and it's just a moment of wow, we're really duplicating and helping each other do this together. So on the board, and this is Hyperdrive, this is me down basically. So this is Emily Canavan's downline, Katie Matherly's downline, etc. If I miss you or you have something updated, again, put it in the chat. So we have Sarah Sloan at 2, Lindsay Bryant at 2, Lexi Olson at 2, Haley, Michael, she's actually brand new at 2, Jen Clark at 2, Savannah Shaw at 2, Brooke Ferris at 2, Ashley Wilson, Madison Shaw, Allie Shuley, Caitlin Dula, Emily Staggs, and Rochelle, we call her Ray, I'm going to mess up your last name, Vedmosky, I don't know if that's right, I hope I nailed it, all have 2, and then Carly King, Kenna Burgos, Logan Witchard, and Emily Canavan are at 4. I'm at 14. Claire Breidenbach is at 12. Jenna Thurman is at 12. Lexi Smith is at 12. Katie Matherly is at 12. Michelle Dashner is actually a new coach this month. She's at 10. Stephanie Rooney is at 10. Also a newer coach. And Morgan Hash is at 6. Rank advancements for this week. Katie Matherly is going into 1-star qual week 3. She'll be entering week 3, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that nothing crazy insane happens in the back office. We will be in 5-star qualification for week 1 tomorrow. And Miranda Sheldon, who is a new coach, just locked in Success Star for her first month. So good job, everyone. This is amazing.
I got to share my screen again to show Megan's. Fuck it. I'm not even going to do that. Fuck it. Hold on. Okay, so you just made me fucking host. God, I hate this shit. All right, so we have Megan tonight. So she calls me the no BS queen, so I call her the no BS queen. We're in the Push for Elite together with me, her, and Carrie and Josh Coates. So that's where I met her. She is literally just such a badass. Like, let me tell you this right now. She is 8-star quals right now. Elite, I think 2 times if she said, I forgot. No BS queen, Success Club 10 legend since October of 2015. And that is her Instagram handle. If you guys want to go follow her while you can, I can type it in the chat too. So I just asked her to kind of talk about like her way of like how she finds people to sign up. Kind of like she's going to give you guys like a checklist. I have it. I'll send it to Courtney and Marie and Carrie so they can share it with you guys. But she's just going to kind of like take you through her way of inviting and like building a business through Facebook. Because I feel like a lot of us don't use Facebook and we kind of like push it to the side. But Facebook is golden for your business and finding new people. So we're going to talk about that tonight. All right, take it away.
Hi guys, what's up? I don't have any idea if I can like share my screen and stuff through my slides and whatnot, and then I will probably just ask. Oh shit, I'm the host now. What's up? Okay, perfect. Let me screen share here real quick, and then I will go through my tracker too, because I did create like a new tracker because I love Beachbody, but I don't like their tracker. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on this call, by the way. Like I said before, I met Bailey through Josh's like push group, and I've been a coach for 4.5 years now, and this is my first year as a retired teacher. So I have been through the trenches and built a 6-figure plus business while, you know, working full-time as a teacher and a sports coach and taking online classes. So the stuff I'm going to share with you is like super basic, but like it literally has helped me build my business to where I'm at today. So if you have questions or anything, throw them in the chat. I will get to them at the end because I have such a scroll brain that if I like try to answer them as we go through, I literally will like botch this whole thing. So that being said, before we start, success in the business looks different to every single person. So when I show you some of this stuff, accolades and everything are great, like, you know, 8-star qual, hopefully going 9-star tomorrow. Congrats to whoever's in 5-star qual. That's awesome. Like you're, you know, pushing towards elite. That's so great. You know, those things are amazing, and success looks different to each person. But finding like what makes you successful and also like how to actually get there, I feel like is, you know, super duper important. So one thing for me that has really been a game changer is, figuring out like who I'm actually talking to. And y'all know this stuff. Like you guys all already know like what an avatar is and who you're talking to. But I struggled a lot because I was teaching full time and I was coaching sports and I was taking online classes, but I was also running a 6-figure business. And it was really hard for me to talk about it because I didn't want people to think that I was like degrading teaching. I didn't want them to think I was like talking crap about my school district or anything like that. It was just the fact that like Beachbody was, you know, producing this income that was, you know, let's have, you know, 10, 20 more hours of making, you know, so much money an hour versus what I made for teaching. So I actually really struggled for a little bit about like who to talk to and like how to actually reach my market of people until someone started talking to me about like an avatar or talking to me about like my ideal person. And when I first started coaching, I was the coach who like threw this really wide casted net out there and just trying to grab anyone and everyone. And I got so butthurt when people would leave. Like I was super upset when people would quit coaching. Like, you know, if my challengers weren't like ready to do like the coaching business and stuff. And I just realized that when I decided to kind of like niche down, that's when I started to kind of find my business builders or find my people. And yeah, I guess it's like totally helped for me. So if you're struggling with something like that, I'm sure you guys, it sounds like you guys have great leaders to learn from. But something that has helped me is just kind of like sitting down and just writing out every single thing that like made up who I was, putting everyone else aside and what made up Megan, like what made me different from every other person. So I went through and I wrote down like the normal dog mom, wife, teacher, all those generic names. And then after I did that, I went back through and I kind of like niche down even more. So instead of just like a wife, I've been married for almost 5 years now. So we're kind of still in that newlywed phase just because we don't have any children. Like we're just living life doing like house projects and stuff. And that's different from someone who's been married for 10 years or somebody who's been married for 10 days. You know, like I'm in my own little niche with that part. And so I can talk about that piece to my person or when I'm posting on social media and like grabbing my actual person. Also, like I'm a dog mom. There's probably thousands of dog moms on this call. But what sets me apart is I have one doodle who's a mini, who's Auburn, who's a pain in the butt, but is exactly like his mom. And I have a dog who's like a complete mutt. And so it sets me apart between, you know, somebody else who might just have one dog or has 2 dogs or 3 dogs or whatever it is. But that doodle mom, that starts to give me another pool of people to talk to. And so when I post on social media, I do try to hit one of my 5 to 7 hats that I wear every single day. So when you go to my social media, it's not just fitness every single day because that's freaking boring AF unless that's your thing. You can go to my page. You'll see clothing items because I'm such like a bargain shopper. I love finding deals. I share them on my Instagram stories, on my posts. I talk about it all the time. I've been an athlete my entire life. So I'm looking for people who want to be really strong and build muscle and have, you know, be tightened and toned and all that stuff. Not necessarily someone who's looking for 100-pound weight loss. However, I'm obviously equipped to help them. It's just that I'm talking more to like my person. And what I've found by doing this is it gives me more of a variety to talk about on social media. People start to relate to me in different areas instead of just fitness every single day, because some people are like, okay, we get it. You work out, like we got it. What else? I've just been starting to kind of like have better relationships with people. And I'm going to show you in a minute, but like every post that I put up on social, I invite from it. No matter if it's a picture about my dog or if it's a picture about my hubby and I or whatever it is, I just make sure that I'm actually, you know, posting and then inviting to the actual opportunity. So whatever sets you apart, write down a list of all of the things that you can possibly think of, and then try to group them into groups of like 5 or 7, and then go through and really like niche down on who you're actually talking to and like specifically like speak to that person. Instead of saying, I'm looking for anyone who, you're like, no, I'm looking for crazy busy teachers, or I'm looking for the dog mom who has dog hair all over her pants on the way out the door. Like you get really niche specific, and then people can really like relate to you and stuff. So I know avatar is very basic, and you probably learned this like when you first started coaching, but it is something that I actually had to year 3.5, year 4 into the business, kind of go back through, because I was really struggling with who I was talking to, and I was struggling with like how to actually talk to that person. And also I needed to get out of like the fitness realm. I literally was like the girl who was like sweaty selfie, sweaty selfie, sweaty selfie. Oh, picture of workout pants, sweaty selfie. And like, I just wasn't relating to anybody. And I didn't feel like I had a lot of good conversations going. And now I feel like I can have 50 to 60 conversations a day going that could potentially lead into, you know, invites and, you know, obviously a challenge group or client or coach or something like that. So as far as just kind of like success in the business overall, I guess, the first thing that I always lead with, and is something that you guys already know, and you can hear from any coach out there who is successful, they will tell you pretty much like the 4 vital behaviors and doing them consistently. And so there is no like secret sauce. However, like if you want to be consistent, I think Courtney was the one that was going into 5-star qual. She didn't do that by showing up in her business whenever she felt like it. She does it every single day. Like she does the things. And so the thing that changed the business for me was actually listening to Mel Mitro. She's one of like our upline coaches. She specifically said, I can't control anyone else. I can't control, you know, the outside. And so I'm going to focus on controlling the controllable. And that one thing that was a controllable for her was her tracker. Like she was in control if she checked the boxes off or not. And she's like, if I'm going to show up for somebody else, like in my actual job, why would I not show up for myself in my business? And so from that day, like I set myself in for my business. And so the tracker, doing that stuff every single day, all of the things. Like you can't just do PD one day and then do a workout the next day and then, you know, send some invites the day after. It literally has to be like all of the things together. And I always just think about it as like, you know, like baking brownies or a cake or something. Like when you put all of your ingredients in a bowl and you mix them and you put them into the oven, like to have the best cake possible, you have to have all the ingredients and all that stuff first. You can't just half-ass it and like, you know, put in a few things here and there, put it in the oven and expect it to kind of turn out. You actually have to do all of the things every single day. And then also I told you guys I was a teacher. I remember sitting on my bed with like zero voice crying because I had to call 30 plus people to find a sub for me. And I finally went through the entire sub list and I was just bawling to my husband. I was like, oh my gosh, like I just called 30 people. I don't have a voice. I feel like shit. And like I have to go into school. Like this is ridiculous. I will never, ever, ever have this issue in my life ever again. Luckily, my principal was super awesome. Was like, hey, we'll figure it out. However, I remember sitting in my bed, bawling my eyes out, zero voice, and was like, I'm going to show up no matter what because it's my job. And like, I always remember that moment. Like I can check off a freaking tracker. Like I can do that. Like I'm going to show up for myself because I was willing to show up for somebody else. Another thing was, I told you before, I struggled a lot with being a teacher and a sports coach actually as well, like kind of like that role model in the community that we have and also to my students, but then being a role model and like also in the Beachbody world. And I feel like sometimes, I don't know, people were like making me choose one or the other. Like I couldn't be successful in both. Like Beachbody was some sort of like cult or was like bad to like share transformations and stuff. And so I kind of like stopped with like wearing 2 different hats and I just like put them together. And so like I'm not Megan, the Beachbody coach. I'm just Megan. I'm like, I branded myself, but like, I'm just myself. And I literally turned Beachbody into like my life and just plugged it into what I was doing. And so when you go to my page, when you look at my pictures, when you hear my stories, I never once say Beachbody. Do I believe in them? Absolutely. Like I will be here forever. I love the products. I love the programs, but I'm still myself. And I think that like sometimes, my best coaches are my challengers because they don't give 2 shits. Like, you know, they love Beachbody. They love like the results they're getting, but like if they're sharing on social media, they're taking full ownership, like that they worked out, they got the results, they feel bomb. They don't ever like, I don't know, like promote Beachbody because they're not making money. The second they start to coach, all of a sudden they think they have to be like, oh my God, Beachbody this, and all this stuff. I really like just want my coaches to be themselves 100% and use Beachbody as a stepping stone to get you to where you want to go. And so like we've all had like the shameless like Shakeology picture with our face. Scroll on my Instagram, like go back to like the beginning photos. It's terrible. But the thing is that what I've really actually realized is, you know, Beachbody and like the fitness and all of that stuff has helped me with anxiety, depression, thyroid stuff, like health issues, marriage stuff, like everything. And Beachbody has been a stepping stone for me. And it was because I made it that thing. Sometimes I feel like people take a step back from the business or a step back from Beachbody. And I'm like, no, girl, you have to like reorganize your priorities or schedule out your life because like something's not meshing together. They should come together. And then the other thing was the Beachbody Tracker. How do I say this nicely? I love it, but I absolutely freaking hate it because it's just all place. And I think if I give it to a new coach, they're like, you want me to do what? Like I was just showing up and doing my fitness and like drinking my shake. And now you want me to do all of these things, plus this, plus a tracker, plus do this coach mentorship, plus post on social media now and run like, it's just a lot of stuff at first. And so, I honestly, with my coaches, my new coaches, I start them out with like the simple stuff, like the first part on the tracker, which is like your workout and your Shakeology, like they should be doing that no matter what. And if they're not, like, why are you asking them to be a coach? Like if they're not even consistent in their own journey. And then personal development, like they need to be doing PD. That needs to be something that they do, whether they're a coach or they're not a coach. So I actually ask my challengers to do personal development. And then being a like hype man in the challenge group and stuff, I actually ask my challengers to do that kind of thing. If a quote, give a video, if you have something, like throw it in there, like, you know, let's celebrate together, let's do this together. It's our challenge group, it's not my challenge group. I'm running for people, like we're doing this together. So then when you ask them to coach, the only additional thing is like social media. And obviously like that's kind of where the tracker comes in. But I gave Bailey a tracker and I'll show it to you guys in a second. But basically I just took the things that are on the tracker, I wrote them on a piece of paper, and I reorganized them to like when I open my computer to work my business, what do I do first? What do I do next? What do I do next? And like got into a routine to the point where it was like every time I open my computer, I could do my tracker without looking at it kind of thing. And the Beachbody Tracker doesn't do that for me right now. Like it's just all over the place. So I did give Bailey like the tracker. I'll go through it in a second. But the one thing that I have to say that really changed my business is being a teacher full-time and coaching sports. Working off my phone was just not an option. People fell through the cracks. I was trying to message people like in and out here and there and like half-assing my conversations and sometimes like reading something the wrong way and answering the wrong way. And it was just super unprofessional and I was getting burnt out. So I woke up in the morning, I worked out, did my stories, got ready for school. On the way to school, my husband and I actually both taught the last couple of years. And so I would just listen to PD on the way to school and like put up my stories and stuff like that. But when I got to school, like I was a teacher from 8 to 4 and I did not like sit there and work my business because first of all, I was getting paid to be a teacher. Second of all, like I was getting paid to be a teacher. I needed to do my job. And Beachbody, like my people were teachers and they were also working. So they weren't sitting on their phones. And so after school on the way home, I would do my PD, kind of like my little silence thing. I would get home and change. I would run some stories. I would spend time with my husband and my dogs from like 5 to 7. And I would work my business from 7 to 9 o'clock at night. And I still freaking do it now. I don't know why. Like I'm a full-time coach and I still work from 7 to 9 o'clock at night. But that's just kind of the routine that I got into. And I talked to my husband about this. So I feel like sometimes we kind of keep Beachbody into like our back pocket and we never say anything. And then we get yelled at because we're always on our phone or we get yelled at because we're on a call or whatever it is. Starting to having my husband, like he knew I had a call tonight and, you know, he grabs the dogs and shuts the door and like knows like at 7 o'clock she has a call because we communicate that. So just be aware, like when you're actually going to work your business, be super intentional, sit down and actually work it and track everything. And then when you close your computer, you guys like live your freaking lives. Like don't work on the fly because like people are going to fall through the cracks. If you have pockets of your day that you work, that's fantastic, but your tracker better be next to you. You have to have a notebook. You have to like make sure you're actually working the business when you sit down to do the things and just be super intentional and just have like that urgency and focus. But also, especially after talking to Bailey, like, you know, she's just very like much the same that I am, like very income driven, but also very like recognition driven. And so when you guys had that at the beginning of your call, I was like, oh my God, this is so freaking awesome. I love like how you're going through and like saying each person's name and like sharing like all of their Success Club numbers and stuff. I love that because being in Mel Mitro's downline is really hard because she has a lot of really good coaches. And I remember seeing the girls at the top and I was like, oh my gosh, like I will never be that person, but I'm going to freaking try. And I remember I would start like getting closer and closer. And so I would just pick somebody and I was like, I'm going to try to beat this person. Okay. I'm going to try to beat this person. And I was just very recognition driven. And, turns out, obviously, like as a teacher, we get paid the exact same every month, no matter what we do with our life in the classroom. And that pissed me off. And so I loved the piece about the business. I can work my face off and get paid a lot of money for doing what I was doing. And so that like drove me a lot as well. So I broke everything down like each week. And so I knew if I sold this many challenge packs or helped this many people, you know, whatever, rank advance or whatever it is, like that would equate to this much money or this much income. But then also I track my Success Club points. Like I'm 4.5 years into the business and I have a freaking like thing that I write my Success Club people down and my new coaches down and my new diamonds, like all of that stuff. I love tracking it because that's what like makes me like tick, I guess. So finding that for you and just really like, you know, going for that. Okay. Last two things, and then I will share the tracker with you because that's kind of like the whole part of this success that I feel like I've had. I just talked a little bit about this, but I know someone had said that like hitting Success Club 6 or Success Club, like above Success Club, you know, 6 or 10 or something like that, only a certain percentage in the business. Like she's not lying to you because Beachbody coaches here, the minimum is Success Club 5. And guess what they're focused on? Success Club 5. And guess what? Almost every single freaking person is going to come up short. If you're focused on like Success Club 10, you might get Success Club 6. Okay. That's why I focused on, actually stopped focusing on numbers and I focus on people. And so every single week I'm like, I want to help 5 people this week. Like that's my new minimum. Obviously that was like my monthly goal was 5 people. And so I'm like, I'm going to change that to my weekly goal. So every week I'm going to push to help 5 people. And so someone's like, what are you at for Success Club? I'm like, I don't freaking know. I've helped 25 people. Like that's all I know. I track people because that's, I mean, what we're doing. We're not tracking Success Club points. Anyway, so take your monthly goal, change it into a weekly goal, and just see how much that actually changes for you. So imagine if your coach was like, yeah, you know, our minimum is 3 people a month. You're like, well, I can do that in a week. Cool. Like, so change that. Have 3 people each week, like really setting yourself up for success with that. So like the monthly Success Club and stuff, like that's not really a goal for you anymore. Like just change it into a weekly goal. Definitely something that you can do easily. And then also I just kind of like pushed myself out of my comfort zone, but also like asked myself if I wanted to be an elite coach, what kind of numbers would an elite coach get? And like those kind of became my numbers. And so 5 to 10 coaches a month, 25 to 30 Success Club every single month. So I try to help 15 to 20, 25 people every single month because I know that those numbers are going to get me closer to my goal. In the last 3 years, like we've locked in elite before summit. And that's because I took my monthly goals into weekly goals. We're on track right now. We just need, I think it was like 17 points, and we have elite locked in for potentially for May. And so that's just something that like, I take this huge goal and I'm like, no, we're just going to make it into like a weekly goal or make it into something shorter. Because I suck at like diamond pushes. I hate like weekly or monthly pushes. Everything for me is a week. Like just tell me what I need to do this week and I'll do it. And then I'll look at next week. If you want me to look at the month, I like start stressing out. If it's like farther than that, my anxiety kicks in. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. So that just really helped me for sure. And then knowing, like asking yourself what I did today in the business, if my coaches did 80% of that, or even like actually reality, your coaches probably do like 20-ish% of what you actually do, which is really sad, but that's why the numbers are so low. Not for your team, but like just in general in Beachbody. But if you ask yourself like what I did today as a coach, would my coaches be successful if they repeated what I did? And if you're like, hell yeah, and you close your computer and you go rock your life, like, yes, all of your coaches, like you guys have so many people on the Success Club board. There's a reason for that. You know, it's the 20 whatever of the month and you guys are at Success Club already, which is fantastic. And you're just going to keep going from there. And so just asking yourself every night before you like go to bed or when you close your computer, like, would my coaches be successful if they did what I did? Okay. And then Mel Mitra always says, could I do a fingernail more? Like, that's kind of like her little jab every single time. So just being like a hungry coach. And then the last thing, since working with Josh and stuff and just really adding more PD into my life, especially Miracle Morning is changing my life. I'm not really sure why, but when I was a teacher and had a schedule, it didn't really like bother me as much, but now it has. So I'm diving into different PD, but your energy is freaking everything. Like if you go on your stories and you're like pissed off, or you just yelled at your kids, or you're like screaming at your hubby or something, and you're like, I have to do stories because my coach told me I have to check these boxes off, or you're like doing your tracker and you're like, crap, I didn't post today, like throw up some random crap and hope it sticks. Like your energy is everything, and people can really like sense that. So when I got on the call and you guys were like going through recognition, I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm here for this, because that's such positive energy and your whole team is like feeding off of that. And like Courtney, I think it's Courtney, I keep saying her name, I hope that's right, but she's going for 5-star qual. Okay, that's freaking huge. Like your whole team is rallying together. You can't go 5-star by yourself. Your whole team is rallying together. You're protecting your momentum that you have, but you're not like just sitting at 5-star. She's already like looking for 6 and 7 and 8. Like she's not going to sit at 5. So she's already looking like, who's my next diamond? Who's my next diamond? So she's using that momentum to continue to push her through her business. And then yeah, I just always try to create FOMO, and I try to like be super creative, and I'm super thankful for Bailey because our team did the collagen and the energized, and we like blew our volume out of the water. And I would have never thought about that because I'm just so much like numbers and all this stuff. And so to have her fresh energy and everything like that just really helped obviously change my business, which is great because 4.5 years into it, it kind of gets flat after a while. Okay, I'm going to share this tracker with you, and then I promise I'll stop talking because I know I've been talking forever. Okay, so I just took, and I did give this to Bailey, and I think I gave her the template so you guys can edit it and everything. So if you know who Michael Folsom is, she always says consistency breeds confidence. She's like my like little superhero. So I have that on here. So I try to break this down for my coaches. So they're doing the same thing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the same thing Tuesday, Thursday. So yes, I know that you work your business Saturday and Sunday, but for a newer coach, like Saturday and Sunday is like their freebie time, their time to like, holy crap, what did I do this week? Like all this stuff. Or if they miss like Wednesday, or if they miss like Friday, or maybe they missed a day out of the week, like they can use Saturday and Sunday to kind of pick themselves back up. And to be completely honest, if my coaches work 5 out of the 7 days, I'm fucking game for that versus working like 2 out of the 7 days, you know, that kind of thing. So every single time I use my tracker, I sit down and I like open my computer. So before I actually open my computer, I have to plan out like what I'm actually going to do like that day. So for an example, I write down like the word workout. And then if I have a call, I will write out like national wake up call or whatever it is. And then if I have to go to the post office, and then like if I'm going to work my business, and then if I have to do like, I literally just write words out. So I know like, okay, I'm done with this, then I'm doing this, then I'm doing this, that kind of thing. So I just planned it out. And then the checklist of non-Beachbody items, this actually changed my life, and I have such a squirrel brain. And so maybe it will help you as well. But for some reason, when I go to bed and when I work my business, I think of like 800 other things I should be doing or forgot to do or whatever it is. And so I literally write out a checklist of stuff I need to do that has nothing to do with the tracker. You know, so maybe it's like going to the post office, or maybe it's don't forget to like switch over the laundry, or you know, maybe it's packing for whatever it is, or just like little things like that like sit in my brain and bother me. And I need to like go do them really quick before I work my business, because I'm kind of like that person who's like, oh, I should go do this real quick. If I write them down, then it like leaves my mind and I can actually focus on Beachbody. Okay, so then Instagram and stuff, I have my newer coaches just start with 50 people a day on Instagram, but I usually tend to follow like 25-ish people every time I go to the bathroom. So I literally like go to the bathroom, follow like 25 people. And then the next time I go to the bathroom, I follow 25 more people. And it's usually averages anywhere between like 100-ish people a day. And so I try to pick like different influencer accounts each time, just because obviously then I'm going to have the same, people. So I just try to find different people. And then I just go through and follow them. I just judge their profile picture and their like name and stuff. And if they seem like my person, if they're a dog mom, if they have a wedding photo, maybe they have a picture of their classroom, maybe they have the apple or something, like I'll follow them. And then sifting stories. So what sifting stories means is basically what I'll do is I'll go through like my Instagram stories. And you guys can do the exact same thing, obviously, on your Facebook stories. So I just go through stories on both platforms, and I go through, and if it's like a brand new person, so let's just say I saw Bailey on my story, she's a brand new person, I haven't talked to her before, I would just be like, hey, Bailey, thanks so much for your support. Absolutely love you catching my stories, even if you're just breezing by. Hope you have the best day ever, or something like that. So it's just a connection. So then I just go through and send out those new thank you messages. If it's somebody, let's just say I just see Brooke. Let's say Brooke always watches my stories. She's like the repeated, creeper or whatever. Instead of inviting the crap out of her, I will just like go to her page and actually like and comment on some of her stuff. And so she's probably like, crap. Like she knows she's watching my stories. And I'll try to like invite her every couple of weeks. I don't like to bash people over the head with invites too much, because if they're watching my stories and I'm actually doing my job and connecting with them, they'll either reach out, or like the second time I try to invite them, they're gonna be like, okay, like I saw you, I watched your stories. So sifting stories just means going through my stories, new people, sending them like a thank you message. If it's like repeat people over and over again, I try to go and like and comment on their actual pictures. And so you can do this on Facebook. You can actually do this on Instagram as well. Facebook, it just looks a little different. I have to use my computer and my phone. Otherwise, obviously, it goes back to the same person. I do my workout, drink my shake right away. Otherwise, I forget. I check into my challenge group right away because I just worked out. I probably have a sweaty selfie, so I just make sure I pop in there and give that to them first. Make sure you share your workout and your Shakeology in your challenge group. And then I actually go through and like and comment on all of the members from the day before. So like I will go back through until my last picture, and I will just click encourage on all of the Shakeology pictures, or energize or recover or whatever. And I will comment on every single fitness photo, like, oh my gosh, good job. You're crushing it. Keep going. Like, I'm so proud of you. Because those little messages is what's going to change that person's life. Instagram stories, I have it linked to Facebook, so I don't even have to think twice. So everything is on my Instagram stories. It just links right to Facebook. Post on social media, that should not be a question, usually just once. Facebook, sometimes I post twice, but usually it's just once, especially on Instagram, is usually just once. Personal development, as a new coach, you should maybe do some PD before you actually work your business. But for me, that's not really a question. I do several different types of PD. I do like the business PD, and then also like regular personal development. And then I just listen to like other podcasts and stuff too. Then I go through my pictures. Anybody who likes my picture, I send them a message, and I'm just like, hey, Brooke, thanks so much for loving on my puppy post yesterday. I can't believe how big he's getting. Do you have a dog too? Or something like that. Just kind of like a connection. And if it's like a transformation, a fitness photo, a coaching post, I will send a direct invite from that. And so if they like and comment, I send invites to those. Obviously, if anyone comments on my posts, I go back and respond to every single person, because it boosts your infinity on everything. So that's what I do for that. Let's see. Sending at least 10 invites, like I said before, for newer coaches. I think that's a good place to shoot for. If you're going to shoot for like 5 invites a day, you're never really going to get your business up off the ground. So I think 10 is a minimum for them. I probably send anywhere between 20 and 50 a day, just depending on the conversation. But I will be honest, I don't send out a lot of coach invites unless it's a challenger that's kicking ass, because that's just my bread and butter. I came in as a challenger and turned into a really good coach. So that's just kind of what I believe in. So do whatever your coach tells you to do. Don't do what I'm telling you to do. Birthday messages, I send them no matter if the girl has like never messaged me in 3.5 years and she has like 3 messages from me. I still send birthday messages every single day, because I've actually had like people come back and like think of me because I always send them a birthday message. But like, let's say for an example, it's Bailey's birthday today and I sent her a message and she seems like my person. I'm going to add 5 or 10 of her friends. Not her because she's a coach, obviously. I'm just saying for an example. So I would just add 5 or 10 of her friends if she wasn't a Beachbody coach, and add people who are like my person. And let's just say, for an example, it was Bailey's birthday and she's like an 80-year-old lady and I have no idea why she's on Facebook. I just delete her, actually. Like, that's how I sift through my friends on Facebook. So like sometimes I'll have like weird people from college. I'm like, I don't even know who this person is, and they don't look like my person. I'll just like delete them. They can follow my Facebook. That's fine. So add 10 to 15 people every single day on Facebook, just kind of move that forward. And then just follow up with people who are interested. I do only track people who say, yes, send me more information. I do not track invites. I do not track random messages, all of that stuff, because it's just a waste of my time. And I don't want a list of people who are not interested. So I only track people who say like, yes, I'm interested. So I do try to shoot for 10 or 15 a day that say yes. And out of that, that's a lot of invites, unless I'm having good conversations and relating to people and that kind of thing. So I just really focus on people who are interested. And when you're focused on that positivity coming into your life, more of it comes into your life, which is great. I tell my coaches they do need to check into their team page every single day. I'm pouring information in there. I'm sharing bundles from Bailey. I'm sharing like emails from people. They need to check into our team page because there's lots of really good stuff in there. And then I also have like just little team pods of different like ranks and people who are pushing. And so I just have them check into that every single day because that's the only way I can contact them is our team page and a team pod. I'm not going to message 90 people a day and ask them like if they hit Success Club or ask them where they're at. Like, I'm going to use a pod, and if they're not willing or able to, you know, share and talk in the pod, then they're probably not going to be successful anyway. So I'm not going to lose sleep over that. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have my girls just privately message their challengers. It takes 2 seconds, you guys, to check in with a challenger. What I do is I send a voice message on Facebook. I'm just like, hey, girl, just want to check in on you. It's Monday. Like, are you ready to rock the week? Shoot me a message back. I want to know how it's going. Send it and then forward it to, like, all of your people. On the tracker app, the old tracker app, you could send a message, and now you can't right now. So I've just been kind of keeping track of my Success Club people on an Excel spreadsheet, and then I just go through from top to bottom and message them a couple times a week. And then obviously they have the tracker and stuff. But you guys, like, my challengers are my coaches. So I am going to show up and message them and check in on them and share and like love on them because those are my coaches. I know people are like, oh my gosh, it takes so much time to check into challengers. And what if you have 50 challengers? Cool. Like, love on them, like share, message them, check in on them because they are going to be your best coaches. And so it's totally worth it for sure. And then just respond to customers and coaches. So Tuesday, Thursday is pretty much the exact same thing. The only difference is instead of the stories part, I usually like try to interact with my followers on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I do tend to like unfollow quite a bit on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then like interact with other people's stories instead of sending like thank you messages. I just go and interact with their actual stories. So I just try to catch them on different things. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday is liking and commenting on their photos, sending thank you messages. Tuesday, Thursday is more so like watching their stories and like interacting with them. And I think the only other difference is the bottom part, to unfollow people that you haven't interacted with and stuff. And then the bottom part looks pretty similar to the actual Beachbody Tracker. I do track Success Club points every single day, and I track how many coaches I get every single day just because whatever gets measured gets improved. So that is the tracker. I did share it with Bailey, and I think I gave her the template so you can mess with the wording and change it as well. But okay, I think that's all I have.
Yeah, I love the idea of adding friends of friends because that shit works. Like, it's so good. I love that. And I did share the tracker with your guys' coach, so she should have it. Does anyone have any questions? You guys can unmute. No, yes. I swear nobody ever asked questions.
Where did you say you put the tracker, Bae?
I sent it to Carrie. I'll just send it in your chat. Oh, she just sent it.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Now's your time if you want to ask a question. I was just reading the chat. I don't think anyone asked questions, but yeah, so the part about like how she was talking about she doesn't do really like coach invites, I actually like pitched that to my team because I'm guilty. Like I hate sending an invite saying like, hey, like you're in the gym, I see you, like would you want more information on being like a coach on my team? And they're like, what? Like what is that? It's really hard to like gear a conversation for me, and I kind of get lost on like what to even say. So that's really a good idea to like keep engaging with your challengers and keep them like, you know, checking in and just like helping them, because those are going to be your best coaches. And that is really true. So when she says that, it is very 100% true. I've had a lot of challengers switch over to coaching. So
I think too, like I came in as a challenger, and so like I got an experience of the challenge group, I got results, and I was like, okay, like I want to help other people. So I feel like some people who come in as an actual like working coach right away probably has a different experience. So maybe they send out more coach invites, but I just send out a lot more challenger invites, if that makes sense. So I just like, instead of sending 10, I will send like, 30 to 40 a day. Because like it's just a numbers game for sure. So think about if you're pushing for, like I try to help 25 people every single month, no matter what. Out of 25 people, I'm probably going to get like a handful of coaches out of that. But out of that handful of coaches, I don't have to groom them. They're already good working coaches because they're already like my rockstar challengers. They've been through my challenge group. There is no like explaining what I do as a coach. They already know what I do because it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is just sharing on social media. So like the challenge group sneak peek and stuff, like it doesn't really even need to happen. It does happen, but it doesn't really need to happen because it's just like a little tiny jump from rockstar challenger to a working coach kind of thing.
yeah, I love that. Do you have do you offer the discount before they sign up as a challenger?
So I'll speak to this on like two pieces. So when I was building myself to 5-star, well, 6-ish star, every single person was discount coach. They didn't have an option. Well, they did, but I just like worded it as not giving them an option kind of thing. It was more so like, hey girl, just wanted to let you know, I sent the link to your email. It'll say finish your coach enrollment. Do not panic. This is for the discount. I do ask them though. I'll read you my thing. I do actually ask. I don't want to sound like a bitch. I do ask them. But yes, I do like literally. Okay, so here it is. Perfect. Okay, I'm setting up your link right now for the VIP discount coach option. So I actually use the word coach. And then I say it'll save you an extra $30 a month if you would choose to continue your product. If not, we just cancel it when your reminder email comes in. I set everyone up this way. This is how I got started because who doesn't love to save, Again, if you don't want to continue it later, you can cancel, no hassle. And then if down the road you'd actually want to coach, great. If not, you don't have to meet a quota. You just get to enjoy the discount. Sound great? And out of like 4.5 years, I've had like 3 people say no. So I built off of discount coaches. I'm not going to tell you to do one or the other because I'm not your upline, but my coaches build off of discount coaches. Yes, I'll send that to Bailey so she has it. So the reason I do that is because if they would enjoy their Shakeology, like they're already set up for the discount. If they want to coach, there's no like extra fee. It's just like, boom, I'm a coach. And so I have people jump faster because they're signed up as discount coaches, also saves them a discount. Also, once you're building yourself, like you're building to diamond, so like you need discount coaches or working coaches. And also I can guarantee you who is inactive right now on your legs versus a customer who is inactive. A lot of you guys track your like, how do I say it, coaches underneath of you before you track your customers. And so for me, signing them up as a discount coach, I know when that girl is going inactive, I'm like, sis, why are you going inactive? Like, what's going on? Let's talk. Versus a customer, they can like sneak out real quick, if that makes sense. So that's something that's helped. Also, like I'm building myself. I built myself to 3-star, like because I can have my spouse and like a parent or whatever, like you can have you +2. So I pretty much like built me and then like my hubby or whatever, built him to diamond, got myself to 1-star, and then built like my family members. So, like I had my mom's account, got like my second CBC open and built my second CBC to diamond in like, 20 plus days. Cause once you do it once, it's easier to do it. So I got myself to 3-star. Like that's kind of what I was groomed back in like 2016. Like that's kind of the thing, was to build off of discount coaches. And now, going into 9-star call, I can't do that by myself. So like coaches will come as you build. But I did build off of discount coaches for a really long time. And is it stressful when they go inactive? Yes. But at the same time, like I said before, you track your discount coaches more than you track your actual customers, and like the process from them being a discount coach and them being a working coach is like them committing. And so I have a lot more people jump for that as well. But after like 6, then you can start with like Zoom and like income and all of that stuff. But I don't want to get into that because I don't want to like tell you differently because I'm not your upline. But that's just what I was taught, was discount coaches. So yeah, sorry, that was kind of long-winded.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a really good way to like get to diamond too. And I have girls that build that way, and it's beneficial. So
Well, and I know like today listening to Melissa McAllister, she was like, just getting them to emerald and then building that weak leg, which I mean makes sense. But at the same time, for me, getting to diamond gave me so much like confidence and swagger in myself that I like was like, cool, I'm gonna go build my hubby to diamond. And once he was 1-star, I was like walking around like my shit didn't stink, because I was like, I figured it out. You know what I mean? And like diamond's 12 people. Like 12 people. You invited 300 people to your wedding. 12 people. And so I don't know. It just makes it seem less, less scary and stuff. And then, yeah, I mean, you're focusing on, helping bigger numbers anyways. And so, yeah, I saw Courtney said that's how she was built. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I was the person who came in as a coach. So that's really, I think it was like all I knew. So I think I talked a lot about like, that's why I'm still here. Like I needed that sense of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like these people are freaking counting on me to show up. Like I'm a coach. So like I better do my stuff. And so that's how like I signed up people when I started, was just like, I didn't really think of anything different, honestly.
So like when you came in though, like as a coach, like you still went through the challenge group, you still went through your pack, you still went through your results, your journey. And I feel like what I struggle with is like explaining to, like, let's just say Bailey wants to coach, explaining to Bailey like Beachbody, challenge group, challenge pack, products, whereas it's just like, let's just talk about fitness. So like I've just found a way to kind of explain it, like what you were saying when you came in. You're like, okay, well, I came in for the business and stuff. I would have loved to come in for the business to like go and recruit a bunch of coaches. But yeah, I just, like you said, I think it's just like however you came in is kind of your bread and butter. But yeah, for sure. I do obviously, like, I bring on coaches, otherwise I wouldn't be here. I do recruit like anywhere between like 10 and 15 a month. But again, I hit really high Success Club numbers. So a lot of them are challengers. I have I talk about the coaching opportunity every day. You can go look at my posts. I literally talk about it like every single day. But yeah, I do hard invites to like challenge groups and stuff.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of people that don't want to pay the $39 even to like upgrade. They'll be like, no, fuck that. Like it's too much money. So that is a really good idea. And I always tell my girls, like, offer it at least. Don't even like not offer it, because you're actually an asshole to not save them money. So, I mean, I would never buy Shakeology full price, just being honest. Like I would never.
Well, and it's nice too, like when Energize and Collagen came out and I was like, my price versus their price. And they're like, how do I get that discount? And I was like, oh girl, let me hook you up. Like that kind of thing. And so that was kind of eye opener too. Like when there's new launches or new things and like, people are like, well, I want the discount. I'm like, okay, you don't have to work the business if you don't want to, but yeah.
I love that. Does anyone else have any questions? If not, I'm going to stop the recording.